Ibrahim, I beg you, come and show me.
What's the maximum?
Around 7 Good morning, everyone. Babs. Today we'll be talking about positive thinking in the workplace. Can anyone define what positive thinking is? Kelly. Yeah. Can anyone please help me define what positive thinking is? Exactly, as simple as it sounds. So, what is positive thinking? Positive thinking is a mental attitude in which you expect good and favorable results. In other words, positive thinking is the process of creating thoughts that create and transform every energy into reality. Now, how do we think positively? First of all, appreciate small successes. Let's say, for instance, a person was given 10 tasks to carry out, and out of the 10 tasks, he performed 9 badly. Then obviously, his boss is going to lash him and say, are you this dumb? You were given 10 tasks and you performed 9 badly. And what the person will do is, the person will go back and say, how come I performed 9 badly? Am I this dumb? In fact, I just want to quit. And what the person will do is that the person will quit. But if the person goes back and say, I performed 9 badly, I did the first one badly, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth badly. I'm so sad. I did 9 badly. But then it strikes him that, but the 10th one, I did it well. I did the 10th one well. Positive thinking would be projected to you. And before you know it, you start thinking positively. Conversely, if you surround yourself with negative thinking people, their negative attitude, their negative thoughts would project themselves on you. So always try to surround yourself with positive thinking people. But in a work setting, you cannot choose who to work with, who to be your colleague, what team to work with. And let's say, for instance, the team that you work with are negative speaking people. What do? You tell yourself that I will limit the time I spend with them. Once they start speaking negatively, I will not partake in such negative attitudes. And so you set what you want to do with those kind of people. Once they start drifting to negative behaviors and attitude, you cut yourself off. So the old saying of birds of a feather flock together can be viewed 2 ways. Either people who are similarly naturally find each other, or people in a group become the same over time. So who you hang around with rubs off on you. If you are always with negative people who complain about everything, you will become a complainer and see the world as negative as they do. You might think you can stay positive and change them, but that's not going to be the case. It doesn't always happen. If I'm the good one there, over time, my good attitude might rub off on them. You might be shocked that theirs would rub off on you instead. So try to connect with people who like their job, who have new ideas and are interested in lots of other things besides work. It will make your whole outlook better. So it is wise to always try to surround yourself with positive people so that their positive energy will extend to you. Create a routine for the day. Every waking of the day, when you wake up, you tell yourself, this is the task I want to achieve by by the end of the day, okay, I put the major ones first, the tougher ones first, the difficult ones first, because when you wake up in the morning, you are freshest. You are more freshest in the morning. You are strong, and your brain is sharper at the early period of the morning. So you put the tough task, the hard ones first, and then you put the much less tough ones at the end of the day. Because if you put the tough ones first, you might be shocked that you might later on carry over that task till the next day. Because as at the evening time, you are already stressed out, you are already weak, and then there's this tough task in front of me. I cannot kill myself, I beg, I'll do it tomorrow. And then you've not accomplished the task for today because you started off the day on a negative note. So to start the day with positivity and positive energy, create a routine for the day. Put the tough ones first and make sure you follow that routine. Create a routine that helps you get the most important work done. Take breaks at the right time. Most of us get tired by the end of the day, so don't leave tough works for then. It's important to end each day by getting prepared for the next day. As at the end of the day, okay, let me review what I did. I accomplished this, I accomplished this, I accomplished this. What about tomorrow? As at the end of the day, you are looking forward to the next day. So you're already planning for the next day on a positive note. So to be positive, it's advisable that you always create a routine for the day and strictly follow the routine that you created for that day. It is not easy because there will be times that somebody will just give you one task and add to the task and you'll be like, I didn't prepare for this today. But you should always be able to flexibly insert those tasks into your routine for the day. But first of all, achieve those tough ones first for the day. Next, make every situation a lesson learned. For instance, we are given 5 tasks a day. Okay, I plan to complete this thing in 1 hour, but I used 3 hours in completing it. I plan to do this in 30 minutes, but I spent 1 hour, 30 minutes doing this. I plan to use 2 hours doing this, but I spent almost 4 hours doing this. Why is that? You tell yourself, what should I take from this lesson? What should I take from this task, from this thing that I did? You pick out lessons from every task that you do. Okay, I slacked at this point. I engaged in unnecessary things that I'm not supposed to engage. That was why I delayed in my task and I was not able to accomplish fully what I wanted to accomplish. Okay, next time I will not engage in unnecessary things. Already, you've already learned the lesson because you went back to your drawing board and said, why did this happen this way? Why did that happen this way? So always learn from every task you do, from every situation. Always pick out things to go with so that such will not happen the next time you are given such occurrence again. So when you finish a task or a project, take few minutes to think about what went well and what you would like to change next time. Think about the challenges you faced and plan ways to go through with them to make your project more successful. For example, if you just finished managing a project and you think of 3 different strategies for future projects, so you have option as to work towards your goal. So when you are done with a project, you sit back, look at that project. Okay, I did it this way. Although I accomplished it though, but I spent too much time on this. What other method can I use in doing this that will not make me spend so much time? Already, you pick up what strategies that you can use next time so that next time your approach to it will be different. Why is that? Because the previous situation you learned something. So to be positive, always make every situation a lesson learned. Assume responsibility and choose your response. When you assume responsibility, you are conscious of the fact that, okay, I did this thing because I slacked in this area. I did this thing because I was not well prepared. Because of that fact, you are conscious of the fact that you made an error. And so next time, because you know you made that error, you will not make that error again, because you will tell yourself, I will do better next time. But when you tell yourself, I did this because this thing happened and it's not my fault, you see yourself as the victim and not the perpetuator, because you have not seen the error in what you did. Next time, it's sure that you are still going to make that mistake, because you did not assume that responsibility. Because you did not tell yourself, I did this because I slacked in this point. You told yourself, it's not my fault too. Next time, it's still not going to be your fault. You will still repeat the same thing because you've not assumed responsibility. So when things go wrong, you tell yourself that this happened because of me, there was a part that I did not do well, of which I was supposed to do well. So when you are conscious of that fact, you will not make such error next time. So assume responsibility and choose your response. Refusing to take responsibility for your actions and your situations, or not taking control of how you respond, kills a positive attitude immediately. Immediately you are seeing yourself as the victim. So you will always see yourself as the victim. You've already killed positivity. After all, if something happens and you're at fault, or in some way responsible, refusing to acknowledge it means you cannot correct that behavior, and it will definitely happen again. And so you also set yourself up for the victimhood mindset, in which things happen to you. Things happen to me. They happen to me. It's not as if it's my fault. Of shelling, it just happened. Next time, it will still happen. Come and shelling. So you must always see your fault in every wrong that you did. Assume responsibility and your response to it. Decide your reactions to known problems beforehand. Kelly can testify to this. Yeah, because you are pressing phone, I have to call your name. Customer services. She knows that there will be customers that will call her and lay insulting words on her. She knows that there will be customers that will call her an abuser and will tell her, I've been trying to, I approved, I requested for a cash in all these days. It has not been disbursed. Why? This, that. And then when you're trying to calm them down, they say, shut up. I've not finished talking. You're trying to talk. I'm still talking. There will be customers that will piss you off. There will be customers that will just get on your back, that will make you angry. So before you get to work every morning, you tell yourself, I know that this thing is going to happen. It's inevitable. But I will determine not to be faced by any of their attitude. I will determine that I will not let their attitude get to me. So you've already charged yourself with positive energy before the day. And so when such occurrences happen, you are not faced. Because you've already set your mindset already for those problems beforehand, and you have chosen your reactions towards those situations. So beforehand, every waking of the day, you tell yourself, I know those incidences that you know always happen, that it always leads to this. Tell yourself, I know this thing is going to happen today. Somebody is going to piss me off at work. Someone is going to get me angry. Somebody is going to shout at me. But I will choose to be unfaced by such situation. Already you've charged yourself positively. Because you have already created your reaction to such scenario beforehand, even before these things occur. So whether it's a client or a co-worker or a regular project, there are some things at work that you are always going to dread dealing with. You know they upset you. Decide beforehand that they will not upset you. So if a client always has to make changes, expect it. I know yesterday it was this. Today I know that this client is going to bring something else, and I'm going to be angry because this person does not always tell me beforehand before he makes changes. So it is at the dying minute he's going to make changes, and it gets me angry. But anyway, I'm not going to be angry. You've already set yourself for a positive mindset. So choose to be calm about it, to not let it bother you. Try to look at the client or co-worker that's driving you nuts in a different way. Maybe they're having a bad day at home, or they are stressed themselves. So always find a way around every situation by first of all looking ahead of it and finding solutions to those reactions beforehand to stay positive. Next, stop complaining. Every time Sean will say, Deborah, stop complaining. So when you complain less, you do more, you act more. When you complain less, and then there is you spend unnecessary time doing what isn't supposed to be done. So complaining does nothing. Try to see the situation in a positive or a different light. Try to say, I plan doing this way, but then they brought it this way. They say I should do this method. They say I should take this way. Don't complain that way and say, maybe they want it this way because it might be much more preferable this way. Okay, let me do it that way. So when you complain less, you might actually see that they said there's a silver lining. How they used to say that stuff. So always try to see the silver lining in the cloud. Complaints are a way of seeing everything in a negative light without considering any other explanation. Because you have already seen that thing is stressful, that thing is annoying you. You will not even look at the opportunity in it. You will just keep complaining. So stop complaining. So act positively. Stop to be a positive thinker. Stop complaining. Next, be curious and embrace learning. When I first got to Bincom, and Mr. Osan says, Deborah, go and do this thing. And I'm like, I don't know how to do it. Mr. Osan will say, go and Google about it. He will not tell you. He will say, go and Google, and I'll be like, just tell me. But then, okay, Google is my friend. I'll go and Google about it. And maybe after Googling about it, I found out that there are 5 different methods in doing that way, of which Mr. Osan would have told me this, and I would have thought that method that Mr. Osan is telling me to do is the only way. But because I went to search for it myself, I have found 5 other ways of doing it. In looking for what I was not looking for, I found something that I needed, that I didn't know that I was going to need, but I got it. So be curious and embrace learning. Okay, now, as time went on, when Mr. Osan calls me and says, Deborah, do this thing, and I'm looking like as if I don't know how to do it too. And Mr. Osan says, should I do it? I say, no, I'll do it by myself. Why? Because he has taught me to be curious. So when I say I'll go and do it by myself, it's not as if I know it too. I'll go to Google with my friend and learn it. So he has taught me to be curious, to always search for things myself, to not always expect to be fed. That way, in fact, the step that you thought you might be expecting to take 1 step, and without knowing, you took 5 steps because you embraced learning. You can never overlearn. So learning, embracing a learning attitude pushes you to do better. It charges you. It brings positivity to you. So a mindset that is close to learning new things grows stagnant and negative. Change, new ideas, or any additional task becomes dangerous to someone like that. Because, well, this is what I know. This is where I know, and I don't think I want to know more than this. In fact, I'm not even interested. And you just become stagnant because you are not pushing yourself to learn. But when you say, I want to know how this is done, you pick up things that you don't even expect. You find things along the way that you don't even expect because you were positive from the onset, because you embraced learning. So a person who is willing to learn and is curious about many things, be a person who is willing to learn and is curious about many things, your attitude will be positive because you are looking forward and wanting to understand instead of closed off. Being curious about a new situation or what's going on tends to make you mindful and aware of the present moment, and that tends to chase out negative attitude. Fake it until you make it. I'm not saying that you should be a hypocrite. I'm not saying you should be hypocritic about it. I'm saying that there will be days, let's never deceive ourselves, there will be days that you will wake up and you are not just feeling it. There will be days you will wake up and you are just sad, you are just gloomy. Well, it's like as if you slept sad and you woke up sad. There will be days that, God. So I have to go to work with this attitude, with this feeling. There will be days that you are not just happy. But if you let those feelings get in your task, it will be a catastrophe because you might end up doing something wrong. Like me, for instance, if I let those wrong aura get to my task, I might mistakenly merge two people's accounts that I'm not supposed to merge. And it's going to be catastrophic because someone will almost kill me. And so, when you wake up with those feelings, immediately get to is trying to say. The reality is, though, that sometimes we don't always feel the emotion we want. Sitting around waiting for it to come upon us is a sure way to make certain it never comes. You often have to fake it until the real deal arrives. Don't feel happy. Don't feel excited about the presentation. Fake it. Fake that you are happy about this. And then before you know it, you forget that you were sad about it. More often than not, the real emotion will come up. You're not going to feel super excited and positive every day, sure. But don't let that stop you from the behavior that goes along with it anyway. Drive your emotion. Don't let them drive you. That's all what this thing is about. I am sad, so I let that sadness drive me. And then I perform badly at my task. Everything that they give me that day, I'll perform everything poorly because I am sad. Don't let your emotions drive you. Drive your emotions. You can control your emotions. Push them aside and tell your emotion that this is what I will choose to be at this particular time of the day. So drive your emotions. Don't let them drive you. In conclusion, when you maintain a positive mindset at work, you may find your environment and day-to-day tasks much more enjoyable. By maintaining a positive outlook, you can focus on areas of improvement and future goals rather than the challenges you are facing. When you maintain a positive attitude, you look more at what you can learn from it. You are focused on the areas of improvement, you focus more on them rather than focusing on the challenges, because a negative attitude will never focus on what to learn from them. A negative attitude will always see the bad side of it, but have a positive attitude so that you can always see the positive side of every situation you find yourself. Positivity also tends to influence others, so you may also make your co-workers happier at work as well. More and more successful people will tell you that they got where they are now because they made a lifestyle around positive thinking. A person that faces life with a positive attitude will always be more successful in life, both professionally and personally, than a person that cannot take control of his thoughts. It is increasingly common to hear people say, think positive. You are feeling sad, think positive. This is not going as I want it to be. Think positive. Can I finish this task today? Think positive. Oh, I have so much to do. I wish there's someone that can help me. Think positive. So it's common to say, think positive to a person who is sad and worried. Unfortunately, many people do not take this seriously. Do not take seriously this urge. So it is wise to always think positive in every situation you find yourself, at work, outside the workplace. Always think positive. That way you achieve better. You get much results when you think positively. Thank you. References. Question.
I have a question. I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
You said think positive, and are you supposed to like think positive and feel positive, and then
Yes. When you think positive, over time it affects your feeling. And then you start feeling positively, and then you forget the negative and you push the negativity aside.
I don't actually believe you can just start feeling positive and then over time you become.
Yes, that is why I said fake it, 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 fake it until you make it.
Yeah, I don't actually believe that before.
It's real if you keep pushing, if you push at it.
Yeah, all human beings, right? So for me, I actually believe you cannot just start taking something, especially happiness, and then guide the way to go.
The essence is so that you can perform better at work, so that the negative attitude will not affect your work. And so you fake it, you push those negativity aside, so that you can just, although you might not, the feeling might not go out entirely, but this particular period that I'm at work, I just want to be positive.
So you're just
For this particular period,
being at work.
for this particular, you can fake it for a particular period of time. After that, the feeling may come back. For instance, now, if maybe you lost someone, God forbid, and you are sad, you came to work, of course you will be sad. You will have that feeling, but you will not let that feeling affect your task for that day. You push it until the end of the day. But you can always go back and eventually it will come back. Eventually such sadness will come back. But tell yourself that for this particular period, I just want to focus on my task.
So what happens when depressive energy comes back, or depressive emotions?
You just try pushing it at the back. You keep pushing it behind you.
So are you saying that message is applied to
What?
that message is applied
No, I'm saying, there was a part that says, do not let your emotions drive you, but drive your emotion. Don't let that psychological feeling drive you, but you can control your emotion. Don't let that emotion control you.
Well, maybe like give us a better way to actually deal with the emotion before coming to work, so I can actually work better. Something like that, rather than
I said, no, okay, you not come from the beginning of this. There was a part I said, create a routine for today. And then there was a part I said, surround yourself with positive thinking people. Let's say you are already depressed. Because you are surrounded with positive thinking people, along the way their positivity will rub off on you, projected on you. Because you are in that circle of positive energy, it just flows. You might, so for a particular period of time, that negativity might stop for a while, and then later or maybe much later it might come back. But that's why you should always surround yourself with positive people, because I know that this person is going to be positive. But this person, if I stay with it, is just going to make it worse. Let me stay away from negative people. Zao. Yes, it's easier said than done. So that's why we say, keep faking it, don't allow your emotions to drive you. You can control your emotions. It's easier said than done, seriously. Yes. Thank you.
you